It's just quieter in town. Traffic is quieter. You notice it in the parking lots. You notice it when you go to the restaurants. As my role in the chamber, as you said, the bust kind of started before I began here, but when I moved here, which would be 2 years ago in the summer, it was at the peak of the boom. The city was extremely busy. Hotels were full. You couldn't even get a hotel room. People were renting out their basement bedrooms for $800 a month. I know some of it may have been brought on by the slowdown, but I think some of it also was business people that were ready to retire. And instead of, probably having the opportunity to sell their business or somebody else take it over, now they're just looking at winding it down and retiring. So there's, I know at least one retail business with that kind of a situation. Some of the larger companies also just shut down their local office in Estevan, right? Or they may not have even had an office. They may have just had work crews in the area. Servicing the oil sector, and of course those opportunities are now gone. So they've just kind of packed that up and left.
I think OPEC, Saudi Arabia, and these countries will come. They can't produce oil at this price, and I think they'll come to their senses. OPEC had an agreement that they were going to produce 30 million barrels a day. Well, they're producing 32.6 million barrels a day. So the oil glut is 2 million barrels a day. But, production is dropping in the U.S. and it's dropping in Canada. With this low price oil, companies are cutting their budgets, so there's less field activity. You try and keep long-term employees, and although, there's certainly been a lot of layoffs, this area of the province hasn't really had, other than the short term in 2009, we haven't had a downturn since the 80s, basically. The 2009 one was oil glut. The 80s were high interest rates and world economies. Today, it's an oil glut.
I think all the transient population have left the city. Some of the permanent full-time workers have been laid off. So that's another big thing that has happened in our economy. Other than that, even the local jobs are no longer available. Earlier in 2012, 2013, until the mid of 2014, we used to have about 1,000 jobs that were posted on Sask Jobs website every month. And then this has decreased to even less than 100 per month right now. People are leaving the city typically, I would say. If they don't find work, they really wanted to stay in the city, they wanted to wait in the city. But when they don't get work, they are left with no other option.
And I mean, the financial institutions, they know what's happening. They know that businesses are going to be experiencing a lot of tough times. They have already, and it will continue. And I'm sure that they are looking to work with the businesses, and whether it be debt restructuring or extended lines of credit or whatever it is, everybody is just working to get through this. It's in everybody's best interest to work to get through this together.